Hey everyone, it's Caleb from Trifecta Outdoors, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Ranch Fairy test kit from Sirius. What it is a test kit to let you test bare shaft arrows with two different spines. I have the 200 and 250. What it does is it allows you to test what your bow likes. With it comes a 200, a 175, a 150, a 125, and a 100 grain tip. And what that does is it allows you to take your bow, shoot through all those with the two different spine arrows. I actually went through and put in two different inserts. So I have a 100 grain insert and a 75 grain insert. That allows me just some customizability to take a look at what exactly my bow likes to shoot. So today we're gonna go ahead and shoot those all the way through everything. Each arrow gets one of these tips, each spine weight gets one of these tips, and each insert. You'll have to excuse me. It's the 4th of July, weekend after 4th of July, and everyone's shooting fireworks. So anyways, what I was saying is every arrow gets one spine weight, insert weight, and tip weight. So with that being said, let's get to it, figure out which ones we like. Then once we get through that, we're going to go ahead and take those arrows and shoot a couple more, see which ones truly fly the best, and then we'll test them on paper. So let's get going. But I've been doing that. All right, everyone, like I said, we're gonna have a couple starts and stops here. People are shooting fireworks. In fact, there's a doe right over here. Let's take a look. Oh, we just missed her. $100 grain insert, looks like a little bit knock left. This one is knock high and a little bit knock left, which is the 75 200 grain tips on a 200 spine arrow. Let's go to the next one. .250 spine arrow, 75 grain insert with 200 grain field point. Knock left on this one, pretty dead on with this one, so we might take another look at that arrow. .175 grain tip. This is our 100 spine. This is our 100 insert, 75 insert with 200 spine arrows. Both of them are knock high right. Looking at 75 insert, 100 insert, 175 tip, 250 spine arrow. This one's pretty dead on. Might need to take another look at that one. This one's a little knock low. Low and right, just barely. .200 spine arrows, 100 grain insert, 75 grain insert, 150 grain tip on it. Both are very knock high. .250 spine arrows, 150 grain insert, 100 grain insert, 75 grain insert, 150 grain tip. Very, very close on the 100 grain insert. Little knock high on the 75. .200 spine, 100 grain insert, 75 grain insert, 125 grain tip. Both are knock high left. 250 spine, 100 grain insert, or 75 grain insert, 125 grain tip. Very, very good. A little bit knock high left. .200 spine, 100 grain insert, 75 grain insert with a 100 grain tip. Knock high, knock high. So not really looking at those. .250 spine arrow, 100 grain insert, 75 grain insert. Knock high right. All right, so I'm gonna go back through, look at all the footage, and we're gonna see which arrow is gonna fly the best for us. And then we're gonna go back through and shoot that a couple more times and see which one's the most consistent. Then we'll see which one we're ordering. See you in a bit. Alrighty, so what we're looking at here, 250 spine with a 75 grain insert. And I believe that is our 175, which was knock high right just barely. This one was knock a little bit left. This is our 200 spine with 200 grain insert, 100 grain insert, 200 grain tip. This one is knock low left just barely. 250 spine, 150 grain tip, 100 insert. So let's shoot all those one more time, see if we get consistency. .200 grain tip, a 200 spine. We are looking at knock high left just barely. The 75 with 175, 250 spine arrow. We're looking at pretty darn good. And then, I mean, honestly, all these are 1/4 inch, except for this one. We're gonna go ahead and pull this one off. So it looks like we're gonna be stuck with our 75 grain insert, 250 spine with 175 on the tip, or our 100 spine, 200 or 100 grain insert, 200 spine, 200 grain tip. So let's shoot those two more times and see what we get. All right, so with all that shooting, this was me figuring out what was going on. I adjusted my rest, and so they were shooting pretty good, and I went out to 20 yards and they were just tearing absolute rips. I mean, that's a 4.5 inch rip here for the 175 and then the 200, and so I just wasn't very happy with that. So I adjusted my, still fireworks going on. All right, we're better. Anyway, so I adjusted my rest, and I ended up getting this and this from the 175 and then the 200. I adjusted it just a little bit more, and then this is from the 175. Hits here, breaks down, and tears about an inch or so, And this is at 20 yards, by the way. Hit here, tore. And then this is the 200 grain, 200 spine, 100 grain insert, and it shot an absolute bolt hole. So I was like, dang, okay, so let's bring it into 10 yards, make sure that's true for, you know, 20 and 10. So make sure it's shooting like a dart. Here's the 175 with the 250 spine, 175 grain tip with the 250 spine. Hit here, tore down, and the 200 hit here and just absolute bullet holes. So looks like this year we're going to be going with a 200 spine, 200 grain tip with a 100 grain insert. Makes it much better for us with the whole, you don't have to cut the insert down or anything like that. So I hope you all have a good day. That's the facts, and let's go.